cold. It's 7 a.m. and we're getting ready to leave for Mexico this morning. Everybody woke up a little bit sick, but I think we're gonna power through. We're all driving in a Caravan. Every rig has a number. We're number 4. So we just got called on our walkie-talkie and we're gonna go join the line now. See, there's number 3. What number are we?
4.
Yeah, so we're in the right spot in line. We're all gonna drive in a line to Mexico.
Oh, really slow?
Yeah, pretty slow, not too slow, just normal. Hola, amigos. And you can say, Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. This is my first time in the van towing the Airstream. I thought it was gonna feel different, but it feels just like we're in the van driving. I can't tell from sitting here in the passenger seat. Here we go, guys. The Airstream's right behind us. Can you feel it? I can't feel it. This is really exciting. I love driving together. It's our special holiday treat.
Here we go, 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 go.
On an adventure.
The thingamajigger is up and away.
We didn't brush hair or brush teeth, and I threw some cold pizza in a bag for breakfast. It's one of those mornings.
Nothing beats cold pizza in a bag.
Wait, where are we going?
We're going to Mexico.
It's a California inspection stop. Looks like we're good. And do you know where we're going?
To Mexico.
What are we gonna do in Mexico?
How do you say to Mexico? Take a picture of me.
Mexico.
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 No. Mexico.
How do you say hello, friends?
Hola.
Hola, amigos.
When I say hola, you say hi. Hola.
Hi.
Go.
Almost.
Up and away.
We have to be serious right now because this is the border. And at the border, we have to talk to policemen, so we have to be quiet and listen to the walkie-talkie. I had to put away the cameras because a Mexican policeman told me to. See you across the border. Okay, so we're right past the border, and there's about 5 of us that didn't get our FMM visas stamped. We just got waived through. But now we're pulled over because we're unsure of what to do. We need to figure out if it's okay not to have those visas stamped. So of course, with a big caravan of people, something's bound to go wrong. So right now we're pulled over on the side of the road, right across the border in Mexico, waiting for people to figure it out. But the great thing about having an RV is that you can just go home right on the side of the road. So we're just hanging out, having a snack. I just made a sandwich. Everyone's gonna go to the bathroom, and then we'll get back on the road once everyone sorts their stuff out. And we're back on the road. Everyone has the paperwork they need, hopefully. Now it's a 2.5-hour drive to San Felipe. Fulltime Families really did an amazing job organizing the caravan. They worked with the tourism board of San Felipe and even arranged for a police escort to guide our big line of RVs all the way through the city of Mexicali. Say hi, Mexico.
Hi, Mexico. Thank you.
And people are stopping to take video and wave at us and stuff. It kind of feels like we're famous. Apparently last year the Fulltime Families Caravan made the news in San Felipe because it was such a big deal to have all these RVs descend upon the city. There's 24 of us, and there's 2 motorcycle cops. Oh, here they are. Okay, we just made it through Mexicali, and all 3 girls fell asleep. So now we have about 50 miles to go on a highway, and I think it might end up being a single-lane highway. Wow, did you see the ocean? We just pulled into Victor's RV park in San Felipe, Baja California, and this is our backyard. We all made it to San Felipe without any real problems. There was a little bit of a hiccup at the border, but it wasn't a big deal. We got it all figured out, and here we are. So this trip for us is about dipping our toes into international travel. This isn't us doing Mexico and checking it off our list. This is us just getting it together enough to go to Mexico. This trip for us is about pushing the limits a little and going out of our comfort zone. There were a few things that made me nervous about going to Mexico with the little kids, but we just did it anyway. And it turns out none of the things I was nervous about were really any concern. This is the second half of a Fulltime Families rally that started out in Yuma, Arizona and ended up in San Felipe, Mexico. So this is our first international trip with the Airstream. San Felipe is a little beach town about 3 hours into Mexico. It's pretty small. You can just drive around a couple blocks and you see the whole thing, but the whole thing is on the Sea of Cortez. There's a boardwalk, there's a bunch of restaurants and shops, and there's all these little resorts and RV parks and hotels for travelers and visitors. The RV park itself is pretty small, so all the campsites are kind of close to each other, and at first it felt like it was a little crowded maybe, but we've actually really enjoyed it. It's nice being so close to our neighbors. Lyndon wakes up in the morning and just hops over to Sophia's trailer to go play, and I can still see her. It's nice being so close together here. And this is the Palapa behind me, and it's a little restaurant with a bunch of tables and chairs outside and a hammock. That's where we've been having our potlucks and our Fulltime Families get-togethers, and it overlooks the beach. So the kids run out and play on the beach while we sit in the Palapa and hang out and watch them. And you can rent ATVs and take them up on the hill. So we didn't do that because our kids are so young, but we've been watching our friends go ride on ATVs on the hillside, and it looks like a ton of fun. We just took a group photo on the beach with the policemen and the tourist board representatives, and they said they're going to put it in the newspaper.
For you.
Oh, for me?
Yeah.
Oh, it's special. Thanks, Lyndon.
A clam.
A clam?
Yeah, and then I found it too.
Hi, Maple. I'm a clam. You have a clam puzzle. Do you want to go to the RV and do the clam puzzle later?
A sail. A sail.
A shell?
Yeah.
Yeah, you found a shell.
It's a sail.
Hi, shell.
Wow.
Lyndon, where are your pants?
I took them out because they were wet.
Well, where are they? Because then they'll be lost forever. All right, I just found Lyndon's pants way down there, her dress over here, and her rain boots over here. So it looks like she got one glimpse of the water and just started ripping off articles of clothing and running until she got there.
Lyndon, keep your clothes on. If you can't do it alone, work together.
Yeah, we did it together. Did it together.
Is Maple gonna try the hammock too?
Yeah.
Olive's a mess. That's our neighbor. There's us. And I hear the carolers over there.
Feliz Navidad, prospero año y felicidad. In English, I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas from the bottom of my heart. One more. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad.
Careful. Are you okay? You got a mouthful of sand? Yuck. Quesadilla.
Swing Olive.
I don't want her to fall.
No, I can swing Olive.
Whoa, don't fall over. Well, there's something interesting about Michael that you guys might not know. In his 20s, he drove all the way from Alaska to the southern tip of South America. He learned Spanish along the way. He's been to all these countries, Mexico and on down. So he's done this kind of travel before. He took a year to do this journey. And he did that trip by himself in a Jeep. So he's a really experienced journeyer already. And we've relied on his Spanish a little to help us through this trip. So when Michael and I were dating, he told me that story about how he drove by himself from Alaska all the way down to the southern tip of South America. And I thought, that's the kind of guy I want to marry. So that's how I got into this. I shouldn't be surprised that we're now living in an Airstream traveling around America. Is it raining, Maple?
Yeah, it's a rainy day.
Is your hair all wet?
Yeah. I'm gonna buy this one. I'm gonna buy this one. Why did you put fire on it?
That finishes it up. It's a special magic trick.
See?
Oh, what does it say?
Linden.
Beautiful.
Bye.
Do you want to wear it now or save it for later?
I wanna wear it.
Beautiful. The tide is way out, so there's plenty of beach for the kids to run around and splash in, but it's not, there's no waves and it's not dangerous. We don't have to worry too much. House right here is where Sharon lives. She's Lyndon's San Felipe friend, and she used to be a Playboy bunny in Chicago. And she lives here half the year and in Chicago half the year. And she went to the market and stocked up on bananas and apples and oranges. And every day Lyndon runs up there and knocks on her door and asks for a piece of fruit. And she hangs out with Sharon for a little while.
The lady I always went up to her house.
It's a nice lady that gave you a banana. Hi. You're all wet.
There's a rug.
Oh, wow, it's so big. Look at that's my hand. And that's the giant bug.
Hi, little guy. Hi, little guy. Hi, little guy. He's so cute. He's moving. Super big.
He's moving.
And he's a bug. He's moving.
Oh, you lost a shoe. I thought we were all dressed and ready to go on our field trip, but now I'm gonna have to change all three of them again. Everyone else just loaded up into a giant bus, but we're gonna take the van since we've got 3 kids in car seats. It's our first field trip since we've been here. You guys ready to go see a giant cactus? You're so cute. All right, here comes the bus. We're just gonna follow them. Here they are. Hi, friends. almost at the giant cactus.
We almost died. We almost at the giant cactus.
Good job, you got it out. It's a bumpy road. Well, the road is just getting smaller and smaller and bumpier and bumpier.
Oh, I see the gigantes.
Check it out. Wow. Whoa, look at that guy. That looks It's about a half-hour drive along these roads that just kept getting smaller and more bumpy and more treacherous. And we just kept going and going and going until we were in the middle of all these cacti, and different cacti than we saw in Arizona. The cacti here are really big and strong, and they've got a ton of arms, like 20, and they're kind of dark and brown. To the theme of stretching our boundaries and going past our perceived limits, I just flew the drone for the first time. So the footage of leaving the giant cactus area, that's me. That's me flying the drone. Next thing you guys know, I'm gonna be towing the Airstream. Well, Christmas Eve was a day full of activities at Victor's. We woke up in the morning and had story time at 10. Also, there were arts and crafts for kids on Christmas Eve. They got to make mustaches out of a popsicle stick and what are those things called? Pipe cleaners, yeah. Christmas Eve dinner was cooked by Victor's family, and they cooked us turkey and mashed potatoes and stuffing. Really an American dinner, so that was really sweet of them. We just hung out and had a really nice Christmas morning in our Airstream. It was awesome. And we got to hang out and socialize and spend the evening of Christmas Day with our new friends. Rhoda, you can call me Queen Bee, baby, I'll rule. Let me live that fantasy. Oh, 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 oh.
Wow, Lyndon, did you make that art?
Yeah.
Is it a flower?
Yeah.
How'd you learn how to draw flowers?
I just know. The one.
No. She's just trying to run into the ocean.
She's just trying to run straight into the ocean.
Should we let her get her feet wet?
Yeah, I'm trying. She's backing up though.
She hasn't seen the ocean
Get
before.
your feet wet? Oh! Maple's saying, gracias.
Gracias.
I think my favorite thing about coming to Mexico with the kids is that they've learned some Spanish. We're learning Spanish words, and we're learning about different cultures and how different countries have different rules and different expectations, and that's been really fun. They're doing snow angels in the sand. Well, one thing that's nice about this rally is that it's a little bit smaller. It reminds me of the Fulltime Families hangout we went to in Boone, North Carolina. It's still hard to get to know everyone because everyone's doing different things and staying in different places within the RV park. But we've made some pretty good friends here. Well, I think the main reason we really wanted to make this trip and come to Mexico was kind of just to prove that we could. So once we arrived in San Felipe, set up camp and just started hanging out, it was kind of like, oh, now what do we do? Well, one of the coordinators even mentioned that the Arizona part of the trip was to prepare and to get to know each other, and then the Mexico part was supposed to be for relaxation. I think maybe we don't really know how to relax. We're working all the time, every day. During the week, Michael's working, I'm watching the kids. Every minute that they're asleep, we're working mostly on this YouTube channel, sometimes on other things, sometimes on figuring out our next destination or our route. So the idea of a relaxing vacation is just kind of funny to us right now. But we're headed back tomorrow.
It's like a cozy way to travel.
Bye, Nora. See you later. Our friends are starting to leave and it's a little bittersweet. They packed us in so tight here that once you're in, you can't really leave unless a few other people leave. But this is the first person to leave is leaving now, so the process is starting. One thing I'm not gonna miss about being here is all the sand. The whole time we've been here, the floor of our Airstream has just been covered in a layer of sand, and our bed's covered in sand, and all my shoes, everything's just covered in sand. It's definitely a team effort getting out of here. Should I run across? Oh gosh, it's so cold. What a gift to wake up and come to the restaurant and see that we have one more chance at low tide to run around and play. Sometimes the tide is really low like this, sometimes the tide's really high and there's waves all the way up on the shore. We never really know what we're gonna get until we get here. And I feel so lucky that on our last morning getting breakfast tacos, we get to experience low tide again, because there's something really magical about this low tide. The kids can just run and run out to the water and it's just so pretty and so fun. We've been wanting to film out here during low tide all week, but it's never worked out. We get up here and it's low tide, but we forgot the camera, or it's bad lighting, or somebody's napping, or something. But on our last morning, everything aligned and we get to come and do some filming during this gorgeous low tide and share it with you guys. And then we'll pack up and we'll jump into a caravan and we're all gonna go up through Mexicali and over back to Yuma, Arizona. It's a little bit bittersweet because we've really enjoyed our week here, but we're also looking forward to getting back to the US and back to our normal routine and our journey around the United States. But this little excursion has opened some things up for us, like maybe we'll go to Alaska next summer, maybe we'll come back to Mexico and travel further in Mexico. We even met a couple here that did the Mississippi River for a year in a boat. So that opened up our minds to different types of travel, different places and different types of travel that we haven't even thought of yet.